Hello everyone. Welcome back to Coin Market Insider. Today we are going to explore one of the most surprising coins in the world of numismatics. A tiny coin that many people once ignored, but today collectors are searching for it everywhere. This is the 1967 1-cent coin from South Africa. Some rare versions of this coin are reported to reach an incredible market value of $250 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. A simple copper coin that once had almost no value can now become a life-changing discovery. Before we begin, make sure you watch this video carefully until the end, because many people still have old coin collections at home. Sometimes a coin that looks ordinary can actually be extremely rare and valuable. Today we will explain the history of the 1967 South Africa 1-cent coin, its design, its historical meaning, its rarity, and the reasons why collectors are willing to pay unbelievable amounts for certain examples of this coin. Let us start with the historical background. The year 1967 was an important time for South Africa. During this period, the country was going through major political and economic changes. Coins produced in this era were designed to reflect the identity and authority of the nation. The 1-cent coin of 1967 was part of the decimal coinage system that was introduced a few years earlier. Even though it was a very small denomination coin, it carried powerful symbolism. Now let us talk about the obverse design of the coin. The front side of the coin features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck. He was the commander of the Cape and an important historical figure in South African colonial history. His portrait on the coin represents the early European settlement at the Cape of Good Hope. The design was created by the famous engraver Thomas Sassine. His initials TS appear on the coin, which identifies him as the designer. Around the portrait you will see the legend South Africa, which represents the nation that issued the coin. The portrait of Jan van Riebeeck is highly detailed for such a small coin. Collectors often examine the sharpness of the portrait when determining the condition and grade of the coin. Coins that still show strong facial details with minimal wear can be much more valuable. Now let us look at the reverse side of the coin. The reverse design is simple but beautiful. It features a small sparrow bird. This bird represents everyday life and nature in South Africa. The value of the coin appears just below the bird with the mark 1C, which stands for 1 cent. Once again, you can see the initials TS of the designer Thomas Sassine. The sparrow design is loved by collectors because it is both artistic and symbolic. On high-grade coins, the feathers of the sparrow and the small design lines are clearly visible. When these details remain sharp, it means the coin was not heavily circulated and may have a higher value. Now the big question that everyone asks is, why would a 1-cent coin become worth millions of dollars? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and collector demand. Most of the 1967 1-cent coins were produced in large numbers and circulated normally. However, some rare varieties exist that are extremely difficult to find. One possible reason for high value is minting errors. Sometimes during the minting process, mistakes happen. These mistakes can include double strikes, off-center strikes, or unusual metal composition. Error coins are always highly desirable among collectors because they are unique. Another factor is the condition of the coin. In numismatics, condition is everything. A coin that has never been circulated and still has its original mint shine is known as mint state. When a coin reaches grades such as MS65, MS66, or even higher, it becomes extremely rare, especially for older copper coins. There is also the possibility of extremely limited survival numbers. Many coins from the 1960s were used daily for transactions. Over time they became damaged, lost, or melted. As a result, only a small number of perfectly preserved coins remain today. When collectors discover one of these coins in exceptional condition, the price can increase dramatically. Auction houses around the world have seen rare coins sell for astonishing amounts. Sometimes the combination of historical importance, rarity, and collector competition can push the value to unbelievable levels. Another interesting point is that coin collecting has become very popular globally. Investors, collectors, and historians all compete for rare coins. This growing demand has increased the value of many coins that were once overlooked. Imagine finding this coin in an old jar at home. Many families keep old coins without realizing their potential value. A simple 1-cent coin could turn out to be a rare collectible. That is why it is always important to examine old coins carefully. If you think you have a 1967 South Africa 1-center coin, the first step is to check the date clearly. Then examine the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck. Look for strong details and minimal damage. Next, inspect the sparrow design on the reverse side. Check if the lines and feathers are still visible. It is also helpful to look for unusual minting characteristics. Any strange marks, doubled letters, or misaligned designs could indicate a mint error. If you believe your coin might be rare, it is a good idea to have it examined by a professional coin grading service. Professional grading companies can authenticate the coin and assign an official grade. This process helps determine the true market value of the coin. Collectors and auction houses trust certified coins much more than uncertified ones. Another tip for collectors is proper storage. Copper coins can easily react with air, moisture, and oils from human hand. To protect the coin, it should be stored in a coin capsule or protective holder. Avoid cleaning the coin because cleaning can reduce its value significantly. The story of the 1967 South Africa 1-center coin reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry great historical and financial value. Coins are more than just money. They are pieces of history that connect us to the past. Each coin tells a story about the time when it was created, the leaders who governed the nation, the artists who designed the coin, and the everyday people who used it in their daily lives. For collectors, the thrill of discovering a rare coin is unforgettable. It is like finding a hidden treasure from history, and sometimes that treasure can be worth a fortune. So always check your old coins carefully. You never know what valuable piece of history might be hiding in your collection. If you enjoyed learning about this rare 1967 South Africa 1-center coin, make sure you subscribe to Coin Market Insider. On this channel we explore rare coins, valuable currency, and hidden treasures from around the world. Thank you for watching, and remember, the next rare coin discovery could be waiting in your pocket.